everybody, this is Hero with Rogue Tips. I just want to give you some tips today for PvP rogues just starting out. Quick little rotations, what to keep in mind, and some detailed macros that I live by. Okay, to start off, I'm the kind of rogue that decides that he's going to keep the target CC'd more than just be a straight cleave DPS. So what I do is I start with a cheap shot, followed by a backstab, and then a kidney shot. Cheap shot keeps them stunned for 4 seconds, backstab while they're stunned, and then the kidney shot to keep them stunned even longer. After that kidney shot, I pop a macro that unleashes all my cooldowns, and then usually can just finish them off with backstabs from there. I also have 3 other macros. One to vanish and get away if I get myself in a sticky situation. A tricks macro to help one of my teammates get 15% more damage, and a Sap Macro, which saps the closest target. Okay, so when PvPing, make sure that you realize what you're doing. Don't just go in there full head of steam, cleave DPS. Make sure you know your abilities, use them wisely when you're attacking a character and you got a range on you. Make sure you're smoke bombing as a rogue, and evasion when you're fighting against melee. Make sure that you're dismantling as much as possible, and know who you're fighting. For example, when I go up to a mage and I cheap shot them, they're just going to blink out of my cheap shot. So I run up to the mage and cheap shot. I don't shadow step. That way when the mage does blink, I can shadow step back to them and continue backstabbing. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Hunters are best when you dismantle them because they will disengage, but a hunter without a bow is pretty much useless. So just keep in mind what you're doing, who you're fighting, so you have a clear motivation and clear target. So my tricks macro is an easy macro. When you target one of your allies, that's all you need to do, and then you just press the macro and it automatically puts tricks on that target. My Sap Macro is a little more complicated. You go around and you just spam the macro. So if there's a stealth and you happen to walk by the stealth, it saps him before he can do anything to you. Or it just saps the nearest target, whichever one you decide. The Vanish Macro is one of my favorite macros. It actually pops Vanish, Sprint, and Cloak of Shadows. The Cloak of Shadows takes off any kind of ailment that might be on your rogue. Any dots. Cloak of Shadows, however, does not take off physical dots, but if you sprint, you should be able to get far enough away before you unvanish. My cooldown macro happens to give me my passive cooldowns, Lifeblood for my herbalism, my orc passive Blood Fury, my Cataclysmic trinket. I like to use the use trinkets because I feel like I have more control over it, but that's total user whatever they're used to, whatever they like. And Potion of Tol'vir, which increases agility by 1,200. These are all very useful macros to use if you want to use them, and have more details below. Like I said, after I pop my cooldown macro, I can usually take things pretty easily with backstab. Alright, thanks for watching. Any questions, comments? Leave them in the comments below.